Omaka was a village where everyone knew everyone else's business, and the love story between Uche and Ada was no exception. Uche was a hard-working farmer with dreams of owning more land, while Ada was a seamstress known for her intricate designs. Together, they were the village's golden couple, always laughing, always hopeful. One evening, under the soft glow of a full moon, they sat by the riverbank, dreaming of the future. "We'll build a small home by the stream," Uche said, tracing patterns in the dirt. "Our children will play here while you sow, and I'll work the fields." Ada chuckled. "You dream big, Uche, but as long as we have each other, we'll have everything we need." Little did they know, their idyllic plans were about to be shattered. The tranquility of Umwaka was disrupted one market day when a gleaming black car rolled into the dusty square. Women stopped their bargaining, men paused their discussions. Out stepped Elegance, her high heels clicking against the ground, her silk gown shimmering in the sunlight. "She looks like a queen," someone whispered. Elegance carried herself with an air of superiority, her eyes scanning the crowd as though searching for something or someone. Her arrival was the talk of the village for days, and her opulent lifestyle intrigued Uche. "She's so different," he told Ada one evening. "I wonder what it's like to live like that." Ada frowned, sensing a shift in Uche's tone. "Be careful, Uche," she said. "Not everything that glitters is worth chasing." Uche's first encounter with elegance happened by chance, or so it seemed. He was loading baskets of cassava into a cart when she appeared, her perfume overpowering the earthy village scents. She was walking towards Uche in her usual magnificent look when she almost tripped. "Let me help you with that," Uche offered, struggling to keep his composure. Elegance smiled. "You're kind, but you should be doing more with yourself. A man like you shouldn't waste his strength on such work." Her words lingered in Uche's mind. Was he wasting his potential? Could there be more to life than farming and village routines? Ada noticed Uche's distraction. He began missing their evening walks. His laughter grew rare, and his eyes no longer sparkled when they spoke of the future. One night, Ada confronted him. "Uche, you've been distant. Talk to me," she said, her voice breaking. "There's nothing wrong," Uche replied, avoiding her gaze. But Ada persisted. "Whatever it is, don't let it pull us apart. We've worked too hard to build this love." Uche nodded but didn't respond. The tension hung between them like a storm cloud. Elegance grew bolder in her pursuit of Uche. She invited him to her aunt's mansion on the edge of the village. There she poured him fine wine and fed him delicacies he had never tasted. "You deserve this, Uche," she said, leaning close. "With me, you can have it all." That night, Uche wrestled with his thoughts. Could he truly leave Ada, his anchor and first love? The promise of wealth and prestige glittered brightly in his mind, dimming Ada's steady light. The next day he broke the news. Ada's tears were like daggers to his heart, but he hardened himself. "I'm sorry," he said, walking away. Life with elegance began like a dream. Uche was swept into a whirlwind of luxury, expensive suits, extravagant dinners, and parties with influential people. But the glitter began to tarnish quickly. Elegance controlled everything: what he wore, what he ate, and who he spoke to. "You're with me now," she said one night. "Don't embarrass me with your village habits." At first, Uche dismissed her harshness as part of adjusting to a new life. But her grip tightened and his freedom began to slip away. One night, after a lavish dinner party, Elegant accused Uche of being too friendly with another guest. Do you think I didn't notice how you looked at her? She said angrily. I was only being polite, Uche replied, confused by her anger. Without warning, she slapped him. The sting was physical, but the humiliation was deeper. Don't forget who gave you this life, she snarled. Elegance's abuse escalated. She monitored Uche's phone calls, criticized his every move, and forbade him from contacting his family. He felt like a prisoner in her golden cage. One evening, he tried to call Ada, but Elegance caught him. Still pining for your village girl, she mocked. She's probably forgotten you by now. Uche realized he was utterly alone. Months later, Uche ran into a friend from the village while running an errand. Ada, the friend said, surprised. She's married now to a businessman who adores her. She's doing well. Uche felt a pang of regret so sharp it nearly brought him to his knees. He couldn't stop picturing Ada's smile, now directed at another man. Elegance's control reached its peak when she humiliated Uche at a party. This is Uche, she announced to her friends, her tone dripping with condescension. I found him in some dusty village. Don't you think I've polished him well? Laughter filled the room. Uche burned with shame. That night he packed his bags and left, leaving behind the glittering life that had cost him everything. When Uche returned to the village, it felt like stepping into another world. Everything was the same, yet different. The familiar warmth of home was tainted by the cold reality of his choices. Uche saw Ada at the market. She was radiant, her face glowing with happiness. Beside her stood a tall, well-dressed man, holding her hand. Uche hesitated, but Ada noticed him. She smiled politely, the way one greets an old acquaintance. Uche, she said, it's been a while. I made a mistake, Uche said, his voice trembling. I left something priceless for something meaningless. Can you ever forgive me? Ada's husband stepped forward, protective but calm. Ada placed a hand on his arm, signaling for him to stay back. Uche, Ada said gently, I forgave you long ago. But forgiveness doesn't mean things go back to the way they were. I've moved on and I'm happy. I wish you well. Her words were kind, but they cut deeply. Uche nodded, unable to speak. As Uche walked away, he couldn't shake the image of Ada's contentment. The love he had taken for granted was now a distant memory, replaced by the cold emptiness of his decisions. Uche resolved to rebuild his life, not for anyone else, but for himself. He threw himself into work and began mentoring young men in the village, warning them against the dangers of chasing illusions. Though they no longer shared a life, Ada's grace and strength left a lasting impression on Uche. She became the standard he measured himself against, a reminder of what true love and integrity looked like. Uche's life became simpler but richer in meaning. He learned to find joy in the small things and to value the relationships that truly mattered. From afar, Uche occasionally saw Ada and her family. Her laughter echoed in his mind, bittersweet but inspiring. Uche's story became a village legend, a cautionary tale about the price of chasing glitter. In the end, he found peace, but not without scars that would always remind him of the treasure he let slip away. The end. Moral of the story: all that glitters is not gold. True wealth lies in love, respect, and integrity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories just like this. Thank you.